The exact moment where I decided to quit Brawl was when I played a guy named Mojo, who is now a Melee player, by the way, a really good San Diego Melee Fox, who used Snake, and he was like 13 or 14 years old at the time, and all he did was sidestep and then double jab or tilt. I lost to his sidestepping and tilting Snake, and then I looked up the frame data just to understand, like, how could this go so wrong? I knew exactly what he was going to do every time. I couldn't do a goddamn thing about it because moves stale like crazy. So the best way for me to deal with a sidestep was doing Rob's down smash, which is that thing where he just like spins around and shit. And it just wasn't killing because that was my best answer for it. And then I started trying to use other things, but I couldn't react fast enough. And then I realized that you can look it up. The absolute worst sidestep in Brawl, I believe, leaves you invulnerable for 84% of the action. Whereas in Melee, the best sidesteps, the best spot dodges, leave you invulnerable for 82% of the action. So the best Melee spot dodge, which goes to like Sheik and Samus and like Fox, like hella characters have the same exact frame data for spot dodges, are still worse than Bowser's sidestep in Brawl, which is the worst. I believe, I could be wrong, maybe they're just slightly better, but basically what I'm saying is the majority of the cast in Brawl spot dodges way better than the best in Melee. Comment, whatever, just comment to tell me that this is the worst video you've ever seen. I don't care. Brawl frame data spreadsheet. I found something. And then Mewtwo King Smashboards frame data. Okay. This was our resource. Okay, so I could go to a character. So let's look at Bowser, who I believe has the worst spot dodge. Okay, hold on. Intangibility. So the whole thing is 33 frames. Right? Is that what that means? So he doesn't get to act until frame 33. So 2 frames before it starts where you can hit him. And then he's invulnerable 3 through 24. And then he gets to act by frame 33. So that's 21 frames of invulnerability out of 33. So it's not 84, whatever I thought it was. Fine. For comparison, let's look at Falco, who definitely has tied for the best. Spot dodge, 20. Jesus fucking Christ. Frames 2 through 20 are invulnerable, and he's ready to act as soon as frame 23. So basically, he is vulnerable for 5 frames throughout that. The 2 before it starts, which really you're not reacting to anything at that point, you're predicting if you hit that. So there's a 3 frame window where you can hit him. Okay, here it is. Okay. Mewtwo King literally wrote out this whole thing, by the way. Almost all dodges start on frame 2. Okay, so for most of the dodges, when you start them, you can only be hit in the first frame of the dodge. Right, you can only be hit for the first one. Sorry, so it's not 2 frames of vulnerability, it's just 1. Okay? So, the best in Melee guard you for 63% of the move. Whereas the best in Brawl guard you for, if there are only 4 frames of vulnerability, so 19 divided by 23, as Falco, you are guarded for 82% of the spot dodge. And then you look at Bowser's, who is the worst in the game, and out of 23 you have 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30, 32, 33, and then 2 and 1, so 11 out of the 33. So you do 22 divided by 33, you get 66%, 66.6. So 67% is the percentage of invulnerability for the worst spot dodge in the game, which is still higher than the absolute best spot dodges in Melee. So I want you to understand that. So every time you're playing against a Sheik and they spot dodge and they punish you, what you have to understand that in Brawl, in a game that is actually slower than Melee, Bowser has a better spot dodge than Sheik, than Samus, than Fox, than Falco. Better. Okay? I want you to think about the fact that you're fighting the slowest character in that game, and he manages to spot dodge better than the fastest characters in this game. In a game where you have more tools to punish something fast, these spot dodges are worse. Whereas in Brawl, where you don't have the tools, because you're a slow piece of shit, because that's how the game works, you got characters like Bowser dodging your shit. The character I specifically lost to, like, I did the math. I literally looked at all the math. So 7 frames. So 21 divided by 26. You get 81% invulnerability for Snake spot dodge. Now let's take a look at my best answers as a Rob player. So if I want to down smash, which is my only answer because I don't have to time it, I could just predict. Down smash starts on frame 4. And the final hit is by 14. So that's my best, right? Because if you look at these other ones, like let's say a forward smash, right? The hitboxes are only active between frames 13 and 14. So I actually have to time the forward smash to land within that 5-frame window where he's vulnerable after the spot dodge. But I have to time it in a way where the 13th frame hits by the time he's invulnerable in that 5-frame window. Do you know how fucked up that is? I have to see the spot dodge, react, hit the forward smash to get a kill, by the way. That's what I'm saying. Because there are no combos, right? I can't just jab into weak forward air, into turnaround back air to get a KO, because that's not how this game works. This game only works around neutral. So if a character is constantly spot dodging, I don't get the luxury of setting up for a KO. I have to do one fucking move to get the KO a lot of the time. Right? In a slow-ass game. So I have to start the attack like a forward smash 13 frames in advance to land within the 5-frame window for me to actually get a punish. Or he just does it again. And if I miss, then I'm taking Snake's fucking double tilt, which is a KO move. How fucking stupid is that? In Melee, okay, fine. Right? If I'm a Fox, I could get a shine. I can react with the shine. I can do a lot of fast things that get me the punish that I need to take advantage of this crazy fast spot dodge. How in the world is a spot dodge faster in Brawl than it is in Melee? In a game that can't actually handle it in Brawl. Brawl actually can't handle this kind of speed, and it still lets you get away with it. So when I read this frame data, and when I got into it, I'm like, this game is fucking bullshit. This game is trash. And that is why I will tell you right now, the only people who look at Brawl romantically, right? They look at Brawl and they think, wow, what a great game. That game was the shit. Are literally people who mained Meta Knight or co-mained Meta Knight or found no success in future games. That is it. That is it. You find me a player who thought that this game was better, one of the best Smash games, who still has an affinity for this game, who still continued to do well in other Smash games, and who didn't main Meta Knight. There's literally only one person I could think of in my life, and that's Mike Hayes, who didn't really main Meta Knight. He made Marth, and he loved Brawl, but he'll still tell you that Melee's better. If he doesn't, he's lying. That's about it. But for everyone else, including a game where the only two viable characters were realistically Meta Knight and Ice Climbers, this game was fucking trash. Brawl is such a bad fucking game, and here I am showing you the frame data to prove it to you. Where every character, including the slowest in the game, could spot dodge faster than the fastest Melee characters in a game where none of the characters have the kind of speed to deal with this kind of shit. That's fucking pathetic. That is embarrassing. That is poor design. Sakurai literally designed this game because he hated competitive play. So I don't understand how anyone could like this game. Garbage. So when I quit it, I really meant it. I wrote a whole thing on I just found out the truth about Brawl. This game's fucking ass. I'm gonna quit. And then I never went back. Because I looked up this data. I lost to a snake that would just sidestep and tilt me till the end of time. And I decided I never wanted to play this game again after I saw the data and I realized how fucked up the situation actually was. Wait, who else says it? Who plays? Oh, Salem? You guys are going to listen to Salem? Yeah, he's a reliable source of opinion, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Salem's a guy whose opinion you could trust. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I looked at all this and I was just like, this game is fucking trash. This game is actually fucking garbage. And it was. It really was. It doesn't even get into other problems with the game. Like tripping. Like the lack of character diversity because Meta Knight just destroyed the game. It was just a bad game. Oh, not only that. But do you know how much worse it is that you're giving all these defensive options power while also having a system that severely stales moves more than any other Smash game has, I'm pretty sure. To the point where if you use a move twice, it is, I don't know the percentage, but it is so much more unlikely to actually get a KO. So like the idea is cool, right? You're supposed to have diversity in your plan of attack to not stale your moves, but in Brawl it was excessive. It's like if you're gonna encourage diversity of attack by adding a staling system, then you need to give me more than 2 moves to deal with a situation. More than 1. The only move I have to deal with the sidestepping situation is down smash on a reaction basis. Because down smash starts on frame 4. I could react to a sidestep and down smash. I'm money. I could do that. But if I do that enough times, that move stales so bad that I'm never going to kill in a game where I can't even edgeguard, right? You see how this compounds? It's like, 1, I can't kill because my move's stale. 2, I can't use other moves because the defensive options are so fucking powerful that I can't do anything about it. So I gotta use what I gotta use to do anything. But then they won't kill because they're staling. And then it's like, alright, fine. Well, I get them off stage. Maybe I can edgeguard. Well, no, you can't really fucking edgeguard because the game is trash and it gives everyone just overblown recoveries. And edgehogging isn't... Wait, was edgehogging a thing? Oh, actually, edgehogging was a thing. Yeah. But you're doing all these... So, like, where's my answer to this situation? What can I possibly fucking do? And the answer is nothing because this game is fucking garbage. This game is trash. And then people are like, well, you know, the good players say it was good. Yeah. They all mained fucking Meta Knight. As a Meta Knight main, this game was fine. Because you could just do whatever the fuck you want. Right? But this game was fucking trash. I'm giving you guys numbers why this game is trash. Like, think about it from my perspective. This game was trash. For these reasons, right? You, like, just simply put, just boil it down to this scenario. You have these ridiculous defensive options, which I'm not even talking about shielding yet, and how easy power shielding was. That was also fucked up. But you have these ridiculous defensive options. You've minimized offensive options because Sakurai fucking hated Melee. So he just decided to just neuter all offensive options. And what few offensive options you have, they stale out to the point where they don't KO on the second hit most of the time. Second or third hit, they're just not KOing. Right? They're not KOing. So then you're like, okay, well, if they don't KO, at least they launch them so I can start an edgeguard. Well, no, this game doesn't really let you edgeguard that well unless you're Meta Knight. Certain characters do it well, fine. But for the most part, all of those characters could be replaced by either Meta Knight or the only character that actually hangs with Meta Knight, which was Ice Climbers. This game was fucking trash. Look, I don't know why I'm going on this rant. Okay, I just fucking hate this game. This game is so bad. Not to mention that as a Melee player, how much we look forward to it. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, like, Mango, myself, Peabody, DC, like, a bunch of old school smashers went to this convention called E for All, Gimpy Fish, all of us, like, where they had the Brawl demo available, and we played it. This is back when Meta Knight's Side B, you know, where he does that fucking, like, spinning sword thing, where he's like... That shit went through shield. You couldn't block it. It did 40 plus percent, and it KO'd. That's what it did in the demo, by the way. This is Sakurai's genius development. But basically, it would go through shield and it would KO you. And it would do like 40%, and you couldn't shield it. On Meta Knight. So, I want you to understand that when Brawl finally came out, that Meta Knight was a nerf to Meta Knight. The most powerful character that Smash has ever seen was nerfed upon release. That's how fucked up this was. That's how you know this game was fucked from the beginning. Okay? So we played this demo at E for All. And then we go back to Mango's place or somebody's house in Norwalk. Lucky was there too. We were playing friendlies. Or they were playing friendlies. I don't know if I was there or not. I forget. But basically the story goes, DC is playing against Mango. They're all playing Melee, and they've been playing Melee for like 3 hours or something. And no one talked about Brawl the whole night. No one said shit. No one said a word. And then out of nowhere, DC goes, yo, Brawl fucking sucks. And then Mango and Joey and everybody's like, yo, thank you. That shit was so trash. And they all started bonding over the fact that Brawl was terrible. And no one wanted to talk about it because we had all been waiting for it for so long. And that's where it all started. That's where the Brawl hate started. It's like, it's not because Melee players are elitists and they just want to hate on things. It's just our game is fucking sick, and that game was one of the worst games I've ever played as a fighting game. Like, as a casual fighting game, it's great, right? It's got good music, blah, 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 etc. But, like, I'm giving you numbers, and I'm giving you, like, facts and things that happened during the longevity of that game. That game is trash. Literally, the only people who really, really love it were Meta Knight mains or people who didn't really succeed. Now, granted, there are people who like it who weren't any of those two things, but are they going to call it the best Smash game? I don't think so. Like, I guarantee you, Esam probably liked Brawl. And he didn't do Meta Knight. Okay? And he had a successful career. Right? He still did well. And he's done well at other games after that, right? But is he going to call it the best Smash game? I don't think he would. I don't think he would. Like, now you know where the hate comes from. And to be fair, I actually switched to a Brawl career for 2 years. So I had a Brawl career. So, like, when people say, oh, these are the people that hate on it just didn't play it. No, I played that shit for 2 years. I was ranked in SoCal, like, number 10 or number, like, 11 or something. I was ranked pretty well in one of the strongest regions in the world. And, like, I'd say that there's a certain point where I might have been, like, decent worldwide, right? If there was a top 100, which there wasn't, I probably would have been on it. But I learned my lesson pretty quick. Like, with it, by the end of 2 years, I was just like, and then I started looking at the data and I started having all these negative experiences with it. I'm like, I wanted to tell myself that no, this game is fine and I could master it. And I could be the best. And then I tried doing that with not Meta Knight. I tried doing that with Rob, who is a mediocre character in the game. And I was like, you know what? I fucked up and I wasted all this time. I should go back to Melee. Right? So it's not just like a whole preference thing. And like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I love Brawl because Brawl was all about neutral. Motherfucker, what neutral? For a neutral to be rewarding, you need to have options. And you only had options if you were Meta Knight. This was not... Like, they say that because they see Melee, and they see when a Fox gets a neutral win, or a Marth gets a neutral win, they get all kinds of damage into the KO. Okay, fair. Melee is really based on a combo game, but the neutral is extremely intricate and deep because every character has so many options to play the neutral. So you're playing this extremely complex neutral metagame to finally get the open, and then you only get access to an extremely complex punish game where you have to respond to DI, you have to respond to percentages, right? You have to respond to counters in the middle of your in the middle of your string of attack. So you have to play this extremely complex neutral to get access to this extremely complicated punish game, where the punish game might not lead to a KO. So then you go back into neutral, and then you got to play this really complex neutral once again. Whereas in Brawl, they say, oh, it was all about neutral. Well, that's because the punish game was fucking trash, and you didn't really have options in that punish game. It's like once you got into that punish game, you're going to get 1 or 2 hits, and then you're back to neutral because the game forces you to do that. It's not your choice. You're just forced to constantly play neutral. And then once you're in neutral, you don't actually have a whole lot of options to play a proper neutral because these characters are so fucking neutered that they don't actually... and also the way the game works with the floatiness and the speed mechanics, etc., you don't actually have a robust set of tools to play the neutral the way that you do in Melee. So even the neutral fucking sucks. When people say they love the neutral in Brawl and that's why the game was great, they're just kind of... Some people are saying that because you just had the opportunity to play neutral so much because the punish game was such ass. But then once you're in it, the neutral game's not nearly as rewarding as it is in Melee. Or even in Ultimate, really. It was fucking garbage. Because all these characters were neutered. All the mechanics were neutered. The scaling was neutered. Like, your options are limited because the game is fucking trash and it takes those options away from you. And it highly, highly, highly rewards defensive options. So, unless you're playing Meta Knight or Ice Climbers who have a real punish game, then even the neutral in this game is fucking garbage. But, by the way, I'm not even including the fact that within neutral you could also trip. And you know what people would say back in the day? They would say, well, if you're tripping too much, you should walk more. That was the solution. You have to be a better player and you have to walk more. Oh, okay, I get it. So in a game where I'm already lacking a bunch of options, I have to willingly take away yet another option so that I don't trip in a game that makes me trip in the middle of fucking neutral because I'm running. That's what you're telling me? That's what makes this game good? That's what makes me small brain and I have to figure it out to play this game properly? Get the fuck out of here. This game's just a piece of shit. I don't know how many different ways I could say it. I've never put how much I hate this game into words like I have right now. Absolute garbage. So when people are like, oh, you shouldn't hate on Brawl, like, it has a lot of history. Like, no, fuck no, man. The game was trash. I don't want to see no goddamn Brawl documentary that's already like 10 years delayed and someone took all your fucking money. I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see that because I don't want to venerate the players from back in that era. Because that game was fucking ass. That game was trash. Alright, and this is coming from a guy who competed in it for 2 years. Maybe not at the highest level, but I competed at a decently high level. And I competed at a level where I understand what Smash is all about. And this game's trash. I will never say that about Ultimate because Ultimate was not trash. Smash 4 had a lot of problems too, but I still think it was better than this game. But in that sense, I didn't really compete in Smash 4, so I don't really have an opinion there. But if we're talking about whether Brawl was good, I'd say nay. That shit was trash. When we're talking about non-melee games that are really good, I think Ultimate is the best after that, followed by 64. But Brawl easily, in my mind, just bottom of the barrel. No one should have ever touched this game. I cannot believe that all the people who mained this game, they had to wait till 2018 to finally get a real Smash game after Melee. Brawl was trash. Smash for Wii U, I think it was better, but it still wasn't that great. Ultimate is good. But this shit was garbage. Alright, and that's my rant. Yo, YouTube, baby. YouTube content. We'll get it up there. That's a 30K view video. I think. I don't know. We'll see. Cool. Now that I'm done with my rant, thank you for watching. Follow me or subscribe on YouTube. YouTube.com/Hugs86. I'm going to keep reminding you guys. I don't care if I get bombarded with Brawl elites. I don't. I'm gonna fuck this game sucks. I will give out my bathwater to every member of the Discord.